What's going on, everybody? Make sure that is straight. How we doing? It's been a pretty interesting week. We had a weird one last week because we met on Friday, so we got a day short. But man, there's still a lot to go over this week. It is surprising to be getting big announcements like this in December. We had some big ones from Kino come out this week. We got some Scream Factory that came out of nowhere this week. A lot of us were not expecting that. Also, another big Kino Lorber sales out there. That's always a fun one. Check out who's here already. Dustin, what's going on? Glad you're here. And Jeff's here. Good evening. Nerd bought it, of course. Good choice. Good choice. All that is man. What's going on? You absolutely should check out what we were just talking about on Twitter. It is a great one. Eric, you're fine. Your wallet isn't. Yeah, we're all kind of in recovery mode. What's going on, Hunter X? Good to see everybody. The big thing, Lissa Smith is here. What's going on, Lissa? The big thing tonight, we are giving away the Thing 4K Steelbook finally for getting to 500 subs. I'm not even able to show it off tonight because it is boxed up and ready to go. And whoever wins tonight will get tracking tomorrow, as long as you get me your address. Couch, what's going on? Mitchell's here too. Hey, everybody. This is awesome. So glad so many people are here tonight. And it's kind of weird to say we're celebrating 500 subs when we're already almost pushing 700 now. The last 2 weeks of Vinegar Syndrome stuff has been just explosive for the channel. So I'm glad everybody's here. Glad to see you. Glad that so much has been going on and that physical media is obviously alive and well. Should we just get into the announcements? Because there are quite a few. I'm going to start sharing the Instagram here. All right, as usual, as we're talking about this, go ahead and ask any questions. Let's talk, hang out, and let's get some thoughts and ideas floating out there. First, we got from Kino Lorber coming soon. No release date on this yet. David Hemmings in Fragment of Fear. This would have been rumored to be coming from them for a while, so I'm glad we got word for sure that it is coming. David Hemmings is always great, and I don't think I've seen this one, so I'm looking forward to it. Then Third Window Films announced this one, and I can be honest, this one looks intriguing as hell. Crazy Thunder Road, coming in February from Third Window Films. This is Sogo Ishii's 1980s cyberpunk classic, and it's the first time it's ever been released on a physical format outside of Japan. Bonus features get a new master approved by the director, new interview with Sogo Ishii, new audio commentary with Tom Mess, video Espe, Jasper Sharp on Jishu Aiga, and that is out February 21st. And as usual, this Third Window film release is available from Terracotta. Remember, they are pretty much the main distribution site for Third Window. Hunter ordered The Odd Couple. Nice. That's one I can't wait to get. Dustin got 28 titles from the Vinegar Syndrome sale. Good God, that's awesome. And you got the Everything bundle. Great. Lisa Smith made her very first Severin and Vinegar Syndrome buys this Black Friday. That's a big deal. Curious what you got. Let me know what you got. After Third Window Films, we are getting a big one from Kino. In 4K, they are taking Stanley Kubrick's Paths of Glory away from Criterion here. This is the Kirk Douglas masterpiece from 1957. One of the big ones. Kino is absolutely killing the 4K game lately. Glad they got this one. This is coming out fairly soon from the sounds of it. And it is, just so you're aware, Kirk Douglas, Ralph Meeker, a bunch of other names. This is an older Kubrick film, but one that is very good. This is one that is probably going to look incredible on 4K. Cannot wait to see it. And then the big surprise one. All that is man is scared to count how many blues he got. And Couch already got his Vinegar Syndrome shipment. Nice. Because I already had all the back catalogs, I didn't have to add anything crazy. And mine still hasn't shipped. I'm thinking, though, it's because I got merch. Everybody that's got shipment notices already that I've seen, none of them have had merch in them. Stendhal's under the name Stendhal tonight. What's going on? Sogoichi's awesome. I remember Tom Mess from the Midnight Eyesight. Nice. Tom Mess is all over some of those third window and a lot of the Asian releases. All right. So out of nowhere this week, Scream Factory, first off, big deal, did not get leaked. None of their titles were leaked, and everybody found out about them before they got announced, which is awesome. Not to mention, for a title like this, Scream Factory generally makes their announcements in the first Monday of a month, and they announced on the last Monday of November, which is very interesting. But we got some big titles. Dave, what's going on? Jeff, I mean, yeah, Criterion sure is stumbling, I guess, but it seems like they got a glut of these titles all together in that MGM license. So the big deal title that we're getting from Scream Factory in February is Alligator is finally coming in 4K. A lot of people are hating on this artwork, but just keep in mind the opposite side is likely going to be the original art. No big deal there. This will be on the slip, but oh well. This is a classic. Not much to say. I don't know how many people have not seen it, so I don't want to go too much into detail because this is kind of a weird underground gem that a lot of people haven't seen, but a lot of people talk about endlessly, and they're just really ready to see this. So this is from director Louis Teague of Cujo, screenwriter John Sayles from The Howling. Comes an unstoppable thriller with Bite. A family returning from Florida decides their pet baby alligator is too much to handle and flushes him down the toilet. Meanwhile, Slade Laboratories is conducting secret experiments with animals and disposing of them in the sewer. The alligator, fending for itself, begins to feed on the dead animals and grows. Now, 12 years later, after several mysterious murders, David Madison, played by the man, Robert Forster, is on the case to find out who or what is killing people. And this is an incredible title. I cannot wait to see this. This is going to be one of the biggest 4Ks. First off, I think this is a bigger 4K announcement than any of the Criterion 4Ks that have been announced so far. This is a big deal. Honestly, Ebola Syndrome might also be a little more important than all of the Criterion 4Ks. You know, it's great that Citizen Kane's getting a 4K, but first off, it's a botched release on the Blu-ray disc. But beyond that, it's already a big, well-known title. So, Flickering Waves is here. What's going on? All right, Lissa got from Severin, Blackenstein. Nice. Blood for Dracula. That's a beautiful disc. From Vinegar Syndrome, you got the pair. There you go. Flesh for Frankenstein, Jack Frost, The Bees, Forgotten Giallo Volume 2, and Televised Terror. That's a good grab. Real nice. Oh, and you got Ice Cream Man. Very nice. John says these are the, what's going on, John? These are the best Scream Factory releases in a year. And honestly, I'd probably agree. Yeah, this is a really great slate. Mitchell got about 30 between Vinegar Syndrome and Severin, not including the Nundle and Folk Horror boxes. Wow. Already ordered. Kino got me again, and Ronin Flicks for Gates of Hell. Oh, glad you saw I posted that. Yeah, we'll be going over that in just a little bit. Hunter ordered Alligator. Not interested in the second one because it's a terrible movie. Terrible movie? Man, it might just be nostalgia clouding me, but there are some days I might even say the second one's a better movie. That's probably a hot take, but I really like both of them. Dave added Forgotten Gialli Volume 3. Nice. Did Forgotten Gialli Volume 3 ever sell out during the sale? I don't remember. Count Dracula's Great Love. Nice. Everybody's looking forward to Alligator. Mitchell ordered Krampus 4K. That is actually one that we're going to be talking about a little bit. Cinematic Circus. The moment I saw the announcement, I had to snag the Alligator and Howling 4Ks. Didn't even look at the bank account. Smart. Nerd says, I haven't seen it or heard of it. Wow. But it can add it to my crocodile genre collection. I got to be honest. If you have not seen Alligator, this is kind of a must see. In the pantheon of alligator and crocodile movies, just trying to think of all of them in my mind, I think this might be probably it's definitely top 3, and it might even be second best, maybe only to Rogue, Rogue is actually surprisingly great. So yeah, this is a big title. Oz man, I agree. Bees is fun. Not one that doesn't get talked about enough. Dave ordered Kolchak. Nice. Tom's here. What's going on, Tom? Yeah, yeah. Watch the second one. It's really good. And speaking of that, here is the second one. Love the classic cover on here. It erupted from the bowels of the city in a lethal frenzy. Alligator 2, the mutation, is also coming on the same day in February, just when you thought it was safe to go in the sewer, which, love that tagline. When did any of us ever think that? Deep in the sewers beneath the city of Regent Park, a baby alligator feeds on the experimental animals discarded by Future Chemicals Corporation. Nourished by the toxic growth hormones and other mutating chemicals, the gator grows immense in size and voracious in appetite. Now it must kill to survive. It's a classic confrontation between man and beast. The sequel to the classic thriller Alligator stars Joseph. I don't know. This is probably Bologna. Steve Railsback, D. Wallace, that's the big name, Richard Lynch, and then a little name that a few people have heard of, Mr. Kane Hodder. This is a great one. And if you're going to get the first one, you may as well just get both. This one is also incredible. Yeah, you got to get them both. Let's see. John says, between Mondo Macabro, October, Severn Vinegar Syndrome, and other titles, I have far too much to watch. I could not agree anymore. Next from Scream Factory, we are getting a steelbook of Paul Newman's Slapshot, which I am, before I talk a little negative, I am stoked that they are releasing this. This is a great title, really great movie, hilarious, super funny. Paul Newman's great. One of the better sports movies that doesn't take itself a little too seriously. However, they've announced bonus features for this already, but they have not mentioned a new transfer unless I missed it somehow. This is one that if they are just reusing the old transfer, I'm kind of going to be very disappointed. So I'm hoping that we got something new. It's going in a steelbook, which makes me think that they probably got a new 4K transfer, but they haven't confirmed that. So hoping that we get word on that one. Jeff, the correct answer is it's either far too many or not enough, depending on what you think about D. Wallace. Yeah, and Hunter, that's exactly what I'm saying. Slapshot's only $7, and it's probably the exact same transfer. So, I mean, do you pay $20 for just a steelbook? For a lot of people, no. For super collectors, maybe, but I mean, that's too much. Sardis, what's going on? Glad you're going to be here for the Thing 4K giveaway in just a little bit. Man, I have to do that at least once a week, right? Next one is one that we all knew was coming because Scream Factory themselves have said it on Twitter. The Howling is coming in 4K. And if you already have the 4K from Studio Canal, good news, you really don't need this one. It's basically going to be the exact same thing. This is, of course, classic werewolf film, but the big thing here is the features. New 2021 4K restoration by Studio Canal, approved by Joe Dante. It's got an audio commentary. It's got all kinds of features. I don't think any of these are new other than the new transfer. So if you've got the old one and you're happy with that, maybe you don't need it, especially if you're not 4K yet. But this is going to be a big one. What's going on, Flip? I have not talked about Eureka yet. You're good. Eric, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, Howling. I'm glad that it's coming. Glad that it's coming to 4K. It's going to be a big year for 4Ks. It feels like already. I mean, Vinegar Syndrome already announced at least 13 4K discs. Scream Factory is diving in with a brand new 4K title. This is also the Alligator, by the way. It's the first time that they've announced a title on 4K that nobody else has put out yet. So that's kind of a big deal. And then the 4K for the Howling, obviously they had previously put out the Howling and it was released overseas, but either way, it's a nice one. Glad that they're doing it. And I hope more 4K comes out. But this might be one of the more intriguing titles from Scream Factory. I don't think I've ever seen this. This is Lipstick, coming on February 15th. The story of one woman who had to take the law into her own hands And a lot of this is going to sound a lot like some of these revenge films that we've talked about recently. Margot Hemingway makes her film debut portraying a high fashion model who is victimized by a brutal assailant and then again by the judicial system that's supposed to protect her. Chris Sarandon plays the music teacher who brutally attacks her and forces her to the point of desperation and revenge. As Margot's lawyer, Academy Award winner Anne Bancroft gives a wonderful, uncompromising portrayal of a woman who takes on the legal system in an attempt to define the rights of women in this complex and controversial issue. Mariel Hemingway was nominated for a Golden Globe, delivers an immensely moving and utterly unaffected performance, and director Lamont Johnson ably brings the film to its shocking and violent conclusion. Super interesting. Sounds a lot like the uh, a combination of course, the classic "I Spit on Your Grave." That's the big rape revenge film that a lot of people know. But to me, this sounds a lot like Miss 45, and especially dealing around the fashion agency and rape revenge. This is an interesting one. Let's see. Brian is here. What's going on, Brian? Yes, it looks like this is their first in-house 4K for show. They've obviously been working on Army of Darkness. We know that's coming eventually, but yeah, Alligator was the first one announced. Stendhal. I'm not sure if that's a joke about 8K. I'm still on the side that I don't think 8K will ever be a format that is widely spread for consumer consumption. I think that we will be maxing out at 4K, to be honest. I think that some 8K will exist, but it will likely be for like cinema houses and things like that. Hunter says, I wonder if they will announce Escape from New York and Big Trouble, Little China 4K. Hate double dipping. I can almost guarantee you Escape from New York will get announced because they have already said that they have the Fog 4K. So, with that being said, we can already assume that they have the exact same four titles from John Carpenter that Studio Canal did in 4K in the UK. They are all going to be released here in the US. And they've already done two. They've already said they're going to do the Fog. They're not going to only license three out of the four. I mean, of course, they're going to get that fourth one. All That Is Man, this is an interesting one. A lot of people are saying that it's going to be the hard shell slip. For Halloween and for Elvira, no, they actually came out and announced that it was going to be the hard slipcase. On these, they didn't say it, and the graphic looks kind of odd. In a couple of them, it looks like it's going to be the regular slip, and a couple of them, it does look like the hard box. So, not exactly sure where they're going with this, but time will tell, I guess. Scream Factory is also doing Live or Let Die. This is a zombie film out of nowhere. In the deadly wake of a viral outbreak, the human race is on the brink of extinction. Zombies walk the earth and hunt the living. Among the chaos, lone wolf Nick discovers an old diary that contains a map indicating a sanctuary that might be his last chance at peace. Teaming up with another survivor, the reckless John, Nick journeys through the ruins of society in search of refuge, but they quickly realize that even in a dead world, the ominous threats that walk amongst the living are every bit as terrifying as those posed by the dead. So, classic zombie film. It does seem very run of the mill, but I'm curious. Has anybody on the stream seen this? To be honest, I don't even think I'd heard of this, and I'm surprised they're putting it out. But it's interesting looking, at least. Not sure if anybody else is, having seen it. It's not one that got a lot of fanfare when this got announced a few days ago. But this isn't even their last one. They've got a collector's edition coming out in February on the 8th. Another Hammer title. This is Paranoiac. This is a big one, finally. There is a Hammer box set that was here previously. And this, and I believe one other, is the only titles that were remaining to be on Blu-ray that Scream Factory had not put out. So hopefully we are going to get a couple more from them from Hammer. They had really slowed down on the Hammer for a little bit. For those that did not see the synopsis on this, nothing is quite what it seems in this riveting, complex tale of greed, dementia, and deceit from Hammer Films, the experts in terror. Rescued from a suicide attempt by a man claiming to be her long-dead brother, a young heiress finds a new reason to live, but her relatives have doubts. They think Tony is an imposter who's trying to get his hands on the family fortune. Everyone has their own secret reasons to suspect Tony, as well as their own designs on his vast inheritance, especially brother Simon, a magnetic but devastatingly cruel wretch who will stop at nothing to thwart the supposed pretender. I love the cover on this. Stoked that this is going to be the slip. I really think that they need to do more bright colors like this. The constant black, as I'm wearing a black shirt, and I complain about black shirts all the time. Yeah, the colors like this really pop. Glad that they're doing it. Yeah, that's the title, John. I think Captain Clegg is the only one left. You know, now that you say it, Andres, it does kind of look like Mark Hamill on the cover there. Yeah, I love Hammer too. I think a lot of us that have been watching these for a long time really love Hammer. So I'm glad it's coming. Another big one. This isn't Scream Factory, obviously. This is Shout Select, but one of the best comedies is coming to Blu-ray finally. This is Mark Harmon in Summer School, and stupid watch. That was annoying. February 8th, we are getting in the Shout Select line Summer School with Mark Harmon. School's out, and Oceanfront High gym teacher Freddie Shoup has big plans. Summer in Hawaii. But the school's vice principal has plans for Freddie too, teaching remedial English. Aloha Paradise, Hello Summer School. Director Carl Reiner, big name there, delighted fans and critics alike with this warm, perceptive comedy about a laid-back teacher relegated to teaching a class of likable misfits, including a slasher flick addict, his wacky sidekick, and a sexy female surfer. Kirstie Alley's the no-nonsense history professor down the hall who's keeping an eye on all the shenanigans and on the handsome, irresistible Freddie. The road to academic success has never been bumpier, but to earn straight A's and laughter, take Summer School. Big thing, we got new interview with actor Richard Stephen Horvitz, and that's all that's new. Everything else has been previously released, but hey, we're getting it on Blu-ray finally. Audio commentary still present here with director Carl Reiner and Mark Harmon. Inside the Teacher's Lounge featurette, there's a yearbook, theatrical trailer, the same stuff that we get on every release. Sardis, yeah, I agree. They absolutely should be crediting them. Brian, I hate to break it to you. I'm betting that this one is not going to get a slipcover. Summer School Blue and One Crazy Summer on Blue, Beyond Happy, agreed. And then this is one that a lot of people were upset about. And I wanted to talk about remakes for a moment when this came up. This is Scream Factory putting out the Slumber Party Massacre remake from 2021. This was a film that aired, if I'm remembering properly, I'm going to take this off. I think this aired on Lifetime or Sci-Fi or one of those channels, and not a lot of people saw it, but because it's a remake, there are a lot of people that just turn their back on it. And I don't understand that. And I wanted to make this a full video by itself. Still might later, but the big thing with remakes is everybody just says it ruins the reputation of the original, and that's just not true. Your original film that you loved is still there. In fact, all three of the Slumber Party Massacres that are great and terrible in their own rights, those all still exist, and you're still free to go see them. This, if anything, will bring more fans to those original films. There's actually more of a chance of Scream Factory re-releasing Slumber Party 2 and 3 if we get this out and it's, popular. They'd already said before that they weren't going to re-release it. But, if you hear something about this and you go buy it and it sells enough, hey, maybe there's enough there to, reignite some passion in the franchise, and they re-release it instead of paying $200 for that shitty release on eBay that has been bootlegged countless times. Yeah, there's not a whole lot wrong with putting this out. There's been some incredible remakes out there. But this is coming out on February 1st. I don't think I recognize any of the names in this. We got Hannah Gonera, Alex McGregor, Francis Sholto Douglas, and Jane DeWitt star in this terrifying thriller that gives new life and death to the classic 80s horror franchise. When a quartet of friends heads from LA to an isolated cabin for a getaway, They encounter a few uninvited guests, but someone has an axe and a few other sharp implements to grind, and soon an evening meant for fun and games descends into a night of chaos and fear. Um, this comes with an audio commentary, an alternate ending, which is kind of cool, and a trailer. And it'll be pretty cheap, probably. Yeah, this is something that should do well. I mean, there's nothing that we can really make a problem with here. It is coming out. Let's see what some people are saying about this. Uh, John says it was sci-fi. That's what I thought, and heard it's good. Dustin has heard great things. That's good. That's good. Stop being so positive about remakes. I'm a positive person. What can I say? Nerd says movies have always been remade or inspired by past films. I mean, yeah, that's true. We're about to get Nightmare Alley from Del Toro, and I've not heard a single person upset that that's getting a remake because it's Del Toro. I mean, come on. Hunter says modern political correctness culture will taint the original. I can't really agree with that. The original still exists, and a really great example of that is the fact that Black Christmas has multiple remakes already, and the first one is still there and progressive as ever. Uh, I don't think political correctness is doing anything to make any of these films bad, especially when we're talking cult films and exploitation and horror. Most of these films have had progressive ideals and brand new innovative ideas throughout the last 70 years basically that we've been making these films, and no matter what, they're always going to be there. And I said this a couple of weeks ago when we talked about Candyman, and everybody cried that the new movie was too woke. The original Candyman was incredibly woke, which just saying that word makes it ridiculous, but it's not about being woke. It's about these movies have substance and they mean something because a lot of them have roots in real life. And what we see is, modern political correctness. It's not about modern political correctness. It's about, first off, bringing some of these classic ideas to a new age, which that's not a bad thing. Why would we be upset that we're getting younger people associated with franchises that we all grew up with and love? But on top of that, it's about bringing ideals through some of these films. And with something like the new Candyman, I think that it is, I don't think it was outwardly woke as much as I did the very first time I saw it. I've seen it again since then, but it was about sharing the truth of what Candyman is. And Candyman is absolutely rooted in Black culture. Absolutely. Dave Jones says not as good as the original, but better than part two. Part two is maybe the best one. Glad I can stand up for you there, all of us, man. Jeff doesn't hate remakes, just seems overdone, the easy route for studios. And honestly, completely agree. I do think they are overdone. However, there is the argument that there's very few real original stories anymore. Even things that, gosh, probably the most original film that I saw in the last year was Shiva Baby that came out through Utopia. And I don't understand, why we can't get more films like that. We do have great writers out there, but also we are producing more content than ever before in our human history, which means a lot of it is going to be similar. And a lot of it is going to be, if somebody pitches an idea and it kind of sounds like, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they might say, ooh, if we make this villain Leatherface, it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. How about we try to get that license? And suddenly we'll be, we'll produce this film if you allow us to make it a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. So that happens all the time. Anthony's here. What's going on, Anthony? Glad you agree with my take on remakes. I still need to see this. I have not seen Ice Spiders, and first of all, I love that title. Second, I have heard that it's great. I don't know why I heard that, but I need to see it for sure. Sardis just watched The Devil's Backbone. There are so many great Del Toro films. Flip, bringing in the Japanese knowledge, says a lot of Japanese films had trans characters decades ago. There's quite a few films that had some trans characters from a couple decades ago, and really, a lot of them were just forward thinking. A Serbian film will never be remade. Uh, I don't know. It might. I could actually see it being remade eventually. Or at least maybe rebooted and done in the same kind of style. Let's see. Ryan Cheek says most are not remakes, just producers that are too lazy to think of a new name. Yes, exactly like I said. And honestly, I kind of agree about this film. I think that this doesn't sound very much like the original Slumber Party Massacre. Like they're alone in a cabin and somebody's chasing them with an axe. That doesn't sound very Slumber Party Massacre. They are, very much not in a cabin in the original film. And in the horror genre, that kind of changes everything. Nerd just watched a giallo last night that had men dressed as women in a brothel-like setting. No agenda is being pushed. Exactly. Is the lack of original stories due to the writers or lack of support financial backing? That is a big part of it, the financial backing. And a lot of these people, they just need to get work. And so they will write a spec script for God, a great example of that is look who is directing the new Hellraiser films. We just talked about this on Tuesday, and it was somebody that had written a spec script and just needed work. So they took it and they bought it. And from that, they're going to be the writers and the directors of the next Hellraiser film. It's incredible. Eric says studios are scared to take risks on original ideas. Remaking IP makes money. Quite true. And I think that right now, during a lack of really good theatrical times, that is even more so the truth. Maximus, glad you're here. What's going on, man? Yeah, we can get off the remake soapbox now, though. Let's see what's next. A big one, actually. I am so stoked this is coming. The Antichrist is coming from Kino Lorber on February 8th, and it's getting a really cool looking slipcover. This one, when I first saw it, kind of reminds me of the Christmas Evil slipcover from Vinegar Syndrome. For those of you that don't know, this is one of the classic like Exorcist ripoff films, but this is probably the best one. Like the actual highest level, if we're rating this on a sliding scale movie, this is the best Exorcist ripoff film. This is from 1974. This has been called The Tempter and Le Anticristo. This gets a new audio commentary by Lee Gambin, awesome film historian, and film critic Sally Christie. And it is going to have a slip, like I said. And it is The Exorcist Italian style in the satanic shocker from director Alberto De Martino. In Rome, a beautiful young woman is left paralyzed by the trauma of a horrific childhood accident, but when placed under hypnosis, she is seized by visions of her past life as a heretic and becomes a foul-mouthed seductress with a taste for perversion that leads to her defilement by Satan himself. Doesn't that just scream awesome? I can't wait to see a better release of this and some names in this. We got Mel Ferrer from Nightmare City, Arthur Kennedy, Umberto Orsini from Violent City, and round out the cast with Alita Valley from Suspiria, and then cinematography by Joe D'Amato, name that a lot of us know, and music by Ennio Morricone and Bruno Nicolai. This is a great film, and I can't wait for this. John, you do this so much. You steal my thunder with what I was about to say. What I was going to say is this leaves Abby as my lone holdout on Exorcist ripoffs that I desperately need on Blu-ray. I watched Abby on it was on YouTube about 2 or 3 years ago, and it was so hard to watch. Yeah, I really wish that we could get that one. Honestly, with rights, I hate that we will probably never get that. Yeah. Hopefully someday. Did I like Lars von Trier's Antichrist? Yes, I did, but it's one of those weird movies where I can tell that it's a masterpiece, but I probably don't want to watch it very soon. The hard part is I kind of want to show my wife the Antichrist or von Trier's Antichrist. It's one that I think that she needs to see, especially because we both grew up in the church, and it's something that any movie that dips into that supernatural well, where they're talking in a religious sense. It is something that is great, but also something that can be so unnerving when you truly believed in it for years. And, I think I've touched on deconversion a little bit on the channel before, but leaving religion and finding, the actual, not necessarily the hokey meaning of life or anything like that, but leaving the church and finding a sense of purpose that goes beyond somebody else so that you can drop all the BS of caring what other people think and really just kind of finding yourself as you grow older, especially with our generation and people leaving the church left and right. It's one that deconversion kind of lasts for decades, and films like this are surprisingly important. So, yeah. John says chaos reigns. Eric says, have I ever seen The Lodge? Yes, The Lodge was surprisingly good. Does she watch the nunsploitation films as well? Yes, she watched. I don't know why I am blanking. Malabimba from Vinegar Syndrome with me, and she loved it. She thought it was very weird, but liked it. The other one we watched. What is the Mondo Macabro nunsploitation? John, help me out here. For some reason, I'm blanking on the name. The one just came out like a year ago. Whatever John says the answer is, it's probably that one. I am just racking my brain and I can't come up with it right now. Let me see. Next from Kino Lorber on February 8th, we get another big one. And speaking of remakes, this is 12 Angry Men, directed by the great William Friedkin. This has an incredible cast, and we are finally getting this, and I can't wait. It's not Killer Nun. That is out from Arrow, All That Is Man. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up from my Blu-ray.com app while we are doing this. And Stendhal says, my wife and me got to see it in a theater in Belgrade. Some people walked out, but we loved it. You definitely should watch Antichrist with your wife. It's a great couples film. Oh, man, that's hilarious. Let me pull up Mondo Macabro in my Blu-ray.com app here. And it was, oh, man, I've gotten a lot of Mondo Macabro since then. It is... Let me see. There it is. Satanico Pandemonium. That was a wild film. Satanico Pandemonium is one that I definitely recommend. The Other Hell, that one was from Severin. That's another great film. But yeah, Nunsploitation is wonderful. I cannot wait to get that box from Severin. And that's one that I will love to watch the entire thing through with my wife. And okay, so 12 Angry Men. Listen to this cast. If you've never seen this version of this film, Courtney B. Vance, amazing. Ozzie Davis, George C. Scott. I mean, just take that name in for a moment. Armin Mueller-Starr, Dorian Harewood, James Gandolfini, little known actor. Tony Danza, some guy named Jack Lemmon, Hume Cronin, and then I don't know, McKelty Williamson. Then we have Edward James Olmos and William Peterson. This is the 1997 version of 12 Angry Men, and it follows all of the same beats of the original. And I cannot wait for this. So glad that we are going to be able to get this on Blu-ray finally. This is one that I saw on TV years ago, and I don't know, I can't remember if there was a separate TV cut because this is only rated PG-13. They might have taken some lines out or changed some lines over, but yeah, this is a great one. Definitely leads into people discovering the original one, just like we just said. So yeah, 12 Angry Men. Glad that's coming finally. Another Lionsgate Steelbook, since we've talked about those on here before. This is Requiem for a Dream in 4K. Gets one of those nice plastic slipcovers coming with it. That will be a Best Buy site exclusive, it looks like. And then let's see. Lissa says, off topic, but I just watched your video. I never talked about movies. I'd love to see a Blu-ray or 4K release of The Frisco Kid starring Gene Wilder and Harrison Ford. Yeah, I could have swore that had a blue. Does it not? Maybe I'm thinking of the other one. Let me see here. Frisco Kid. Oh, it does not. It was announced as coming from Warner, but it never actually saw the light of day. All right. Hopefully soon. That'd be nice. Let's see. Sardis asked who played Fonda's part. Okay, Jeff got it. Yeah, Jack Lemmon. That was the joke of little known guy named Jack Lemmon. Requiem for a Dream, by the way, if you've never seen it, good God, I did it again. Uh, if you have never seen it, great film, depressing as hell, and this is one of those films that everybody watches it and says that was a masterpiece. Now I never want to see it again. So, yeah, just for a fair warning. Another big name coming from Kino on February 8th, which Kino puts out so many titles, but why does it feel like they are on such an incredible run right now? God's Gun with the man Lee Van Cleef and also with Jack Palance. This is coming out February 8th, only 94 minutes. R rated. R rated. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Screen legends Lee Van Cleef, Jack Palance, and Richard Boone star in this tough as nails Italian Israeli spaghetti western from director Gianfranco Parolini. A man of the cloth is brutally murdered while trying to defend his dusty town from a ruthless band of outlaws led by the nasty Sam Clayton. The bandits, however, did not count on the priest's gunslinging twin brother to seek bloody revenge. Produced by the legendary Golan Globus team, scored by Santa Maria Romatelli, and co-starring Sybil Danning and Leif Garrett, God's Gun is an unholy Western shoot 'em up like no other. This is the cover they're going with, and then this is on the reverse side. And I got to admit, I love this reverse art. I think this is so much better. Yeah, this is going to be a great one. This is one that I might even pre-order. Yeah, this sounds and looks fantastic. Because they did not list any other features other than the new audio commentary, you can bet this is going to be the final list. This is still more than Kino used to do. So, new audio commentary by filmmaker Alex Cox, and then a trailer, subtitles at least, so there's something at least as a commentary. A lot of Criterions can't say that. Brian, he asked American Western or Italian. This is an Israeli Italian. So it is different. Not quite a pure spaghetti Western. Speaking of Warner putting out that one that I just looked up for you, Warner Archive in December is putting out Ivanhoe finally. This is the title people have been clamoring for. This is coming on December 14th with Robert and Elizabeth Taylor, Joan Fontaine, George Sanders. When Richard the Lionhearted was waylaid on his return from the Crusades, loyal Saxon knight Wilfred of Ivanhoe ventured forth to raise the needed ransom, but calculating Prince John had grown accustomed to the throne and would take any measures necessary to bring his quest to a fatal end. This is a new 4K restoration of the film from the original Technicolor negatives, which means this is most likely going to be a breathtaking restoration. Warner Archive does incredible work with some of these really deep catalog titles. And because this is a 4K restoration of the original Technicolor negatives, this is going to look stupendous. I guarantee that this is going to be amazing. Completely suggest picking this up. This only has the original trailer, and it will have subs, but no other new features for that. And then the second title they are putting out in December, another one people have been wanting, James Cagney in Angels with Dirty Faces. This is from 1938. Rocky Sullivan and Jerry Connolly were brought up in one of New York's toughest neighborhoods, Hell's Kitchen. While his buddy Rocky gets caught up in racketeering in reform school, Jerry decides to become a priest. Years later, Rocky is released from prison and returns to Hell's Kitchen, where Jerry works with at-risk children. Rocky wants a temporary safe haven with his old friend before resuming his life of crime, but Jerry hesitates, testing the relationship. Again, this is a new 4K from the original negative, which at this point, that is, 83 years old. That is crazy that we're getting that. But the cool thing, this also has the Warner Night at the Movies featuring an introduction by Leonard Maltin, Boy Meets Girl theatrical trailer, a newsreel, Musical short Out Where the Stars Begin. Classic Warner Brothers cartoon Porky and Daffy, or Pork and Daffy. I, I thought it was Porky. Maybe I transposed a letter there. Feature commentary by Dana Poland, making a featurette. What do you hear? What do you say? Lux Radio Theater broadcast with Cagney and O'Brien, the original trailer, and subs. So this is a loaded release. Absolutely loaded. Let's see. Brian got Deadlock. Nice. Glad you took that advice. Yeah. John says classic gangster film. Sardis, love the ending. Yeah, there is so many extras on this disc. I'm glad it is loaded. All right. What is after Warner? The Kino sale. I am thinking that after we go over the giveaway tonight, we might take a look at that, because I got to be honest, I haven't even looked up the site yet to see what was on sale, because I am too scared. If I do, I will spend $50. In January, Warner Archive is putting out Stage Fright from a little known director named Alfred Hitchcock. This is getting a newly remastered from a 4K scan of the original nitrate negative on a BD50 disc, black and white. In Alfred Hitchcock's world, theaters are where danger stalks the wings. Characters are not what they seem, and that final curtain can drop at any second. Stage Fright is with Marlene Dietrich, and a big one. This is a blind spot for me for Hitchcock. I have not seen this one, but I am eager for it. I think at the moment I'm pretty up to date with Hitchcock films on Blue. There's not very many missing now that we don't have on Blue. All That Is Man always gives some incredible recommendations. So if you're not following him on Twitter, by all means, please do. And I definitely need to look at these. Eric says, another way too many films on my Kino wish list went on sale this time. Oh, man, you guys are killing me. John, he wishes Warner Archive would do The Mummy and Horror of Dracula like they did with Curse of Frankenstein. I think they might. I think that now that what's his name, Ruben, is back running Warner Archive, I think that we have an actual chance of that. I'm willing to bet that at least one comes out in the next year, now that he's back at the helm, because with him it was great. So also coming in January, we are getting Song of the Thin Man. I believe this is the last of the Thin Man films that they have not put out on Blue yet. Is that right? Or are we missing one more? I think this is the last one. But yes, we are getting Song of the Thin Man. This still has William Powell and Myrna Loy. Yeah, I'm almost surprised they haven't announced a full package of the Thin Man, but they're probably waiting on the last one to come out. They will probably eventually sell all of those in one big package, like they did with those Universal Horror. So, yeah, or not Universal. Why did I say Universal? Those old horror films that they did in that. I think it was a 5-pack bundle. All right. One from across the pond. 101 Films is putting out Snowtown. A lot of us here in the U.S. called this the Snowtown Murders. This is getting one of their Black Label releases on January 31st, like I said. This is going to have a rigid box packaging like they just did with Elijah Wood's new film. And it's packaged with newly commissioned artwork from Thomas Walker, brand new interviews with the director and actor, a new commentary from Australian film critics Alexandra Heller-Nicholas and Josh Nilsson, and a booklet with new writing on the film. And if I'm remembering the name right, Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, I believe she's an author, and she is brilliant. This is one, I don't think that I have any good release of this, so I'm probably going to be looking to pick this up. This is one that's definitely on my radar for January. And I'm willing to bet Orbit's going to get this one. They tend to get a lot of the 101 stuff. For anyone that was looking, Ronin Flicks found, Scorpion Releasing found a box of The Gates of Hell, or City of the Living Dead, and Ronin Flicks put them back up for sale at retail instead of paying for eBay prices if you were looking for it. I'm not sure if they're still available, but they were as of just a few hours ago. So it might be worth checking out if you are looking for this one. because this was getting pretty high on eBay. And this is the definitive release of City of the Living Dead right now. This is better than the Arrow release. This is better, obviously, than the crappy Dark Force release. This is better than pretty much anything that we've seen for the Gates of Hell or City of the Living Dead. Have a good night, Eric. Hope to see you next time. Let's see. Mitchell says they still had some just about 4 hours ago. So, yeah, if you're wanting it. Brian says, how is it better than Arrow? It is a better scan overall. And they had a brand new 2020 color restoration on this. And it does look a lot better. And I can attest to that. I was talking about this film with my mom a few months ago because she could not remember the name of the movie. And all she told me, this is the kind of conversation I had with my mom. We were on the phone and she said, there's this movie I can't stop thinking about. I saw when I was younger in the drive-in. And all I remember is some lady was like puking up pig guts or something. And I was curious what she was thinking about. And I said, was it City of the Living Dead? She goes, I don't think so. And I said, oh, maybe you called it the Gates of Hell. And she goes, that's it. And lost it. Yeah, love it. This one is great. If you've never seen it, legitimately a great Fulci title. Ice is here. What's going on, Ice? Glad to see you. All That Is Man still hasn't seen it. Come on. It is a great one. Absolutely great one. All right. Next, Australia is going to get some Crash from Umbrella in January on the 19th. They're releasing Crash, Cronenberg's Crash, of course, on their Beyond Genres line. And this line is up to number 14 now, which is quite a few with how quickly they've been putting these out. Beyond Genres is a line that they've put out for things like Reanimator, The Thief, the Lover, the Cook, or whatever the order that one is in. There's some good titles on that. Psycho Gorman's on there. Some very interesting ones. Jeff, it was a bonding moment. I agree. By the way, today, if you have ever wanted to look at any of the merch on the site, there is 15% off with Holiday 15 code at checkout. I've got a bag like this, and I think I've got this design on a shirt. I've got the thing that everybody gets tired of me saying, every single film has been somebody's favorite film, on a shirt, and then just the logo, just if you've ever been interested. Next thing, though, we got Eureka, and that's why Flip is hanging out now. He wants to say something about Eureka, I'm sure. Midnight is coming out as part of the Montage Pictures line. This is, I love that they have Squid Game all over this because it's so big. They had to go and change their advertising for this to include Squid Game. This one looks great. Squid Game's Wee Ha Jun stars in Midnight. A life-threatening hide-and-seek between a psychopathic killer and a deaf woman will be released on Blu-ray for the first time in the UK as part of the Montage Pictures range. Available from March 14th, we'll have a slipcase and collector's booklet. And let's see, there are some features on here. We got English subs, brand new audio commentary by film historian Kat Ellinger. That's a big deal. That's reason enough to get this right there. Brand new video essay on the history of Korean horror cinema by critic Travis Crawford. Sounds great to me. And then if you get the limited edition, this will have a collector's booklet with new writing by Alexandra Heller-Nicholas. I just brought her up. This is a great reason everybody should be seeking out Midnight. Only 2,000 copies of this are going to be made, and Eureka always sticks to that. So if you're wanting this, make sure you get it early. And don't forget, Eureka does free shipping to the U.S. Well, I mean, they do free shipping everywhere. And here is Flip's most anticipated release. Odd Couple with a wonderful slip art here. Starring Sammo Hung and Lau Kar Wing, will be released on Blu-ray for the first time in the UK from a brand new 2K restoration as part of the Eureka Classics range. Widely considered the greatest classical weapons movie ever made, Odd Couple stars Sammo Hung, Lau Kar Wing, also directing, and Brian Beardy Lung Kar Yan in a classic tale of rivalry and vengeance. This one is going to be awesome. Man, Jeff, that is a great question. Is he anticipating this more than Shaw? Nerd, yeah, this cover does look dope. It looks fantastic. John, I just saw you said maybe a bit better than Zombie. I think City of the Living Dead Gates of Hell, I think it is a better film than Zombie for sure. Zombie is more nostalgic, and not to mention there's a zombie fighting a fucking shark. But yeah, the better film is certainly City of the Living Dead. Odd Couple has two aging masters of the spear and sword engage in an epic mountaintop battle every 10 years, but the outcome invariably ends in a draw. Realizing that neither one of them will ever outclass the other, they each agree to take on a younger student and train them to champion their cause, thus putting an end to their long standing rivalry. Showcasing some of the most intricate and explosive weapons choreography ever seen, this masterpiece remains a quintessential classic from the golden age of Hong Kong cinema and now makes its UK debut on Blu ray. On top of that, we are getting the original Cantonese mono audio, if you're into that, optional English dubbed audio. Please watch the Cantonese. Optional English subtitles, brand new feature length commentary by Frank Jang and martial artist actor Robert Bobby Samuels. Brand new feature length audio commentary by action cinema experts Mike Leader and Arnie Venema. Archival interview with director Lau Kar Wing, archival interview with Brian Beardy, Lung Kar Yan, and trailers, plus a limited edition collector's booklet if you get the limited copy. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Can't wait to get this one. I know Flip is going to have this on day one, and I think a lot of people should. Please support Hong Kong cinema. Been talking about that a lot on the channel lately. I got interviewed for another channel last night, and one of the things that we talked about was the change in law for Hong Kong, and it's not great. And if you're a big fan of Hong Kong cinema, it's not something that you should be taking lightly. There's so much that could be taken away just from the history of cinema by a government that wants to control everything. So do what you can to support when you can. Here is not really an announcement, but Vinegar Syndrome today said in one of the groups that tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, there will be 9 new partner label releases, including 2 label debuts and a bunch of new merch items. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. All other partner label releases will be available for purchase. As a reminder, no Vinegar Syndrome titles will be available until January 1st, and the picture hints so far indicate there's a release of Her Smell and Savage Harvest coming. And then I don't know if this is the case, because to me, this graphic here could be alluding to Hell Knight, but the face kind of doesn't look like it. But if that's the case, this could be a 4K of Hell Knight coming. And from Justin LaLiberty from Vinegar Syndrome, it sounds like Her Smell is getting a 4K, which is great. And there are quite a few foreign titles coming from these partner labels tomorrow, based on what we've seen and what has previously been announced. So this is going to be a big one. And I agree here, all that is, man. I can't afford it either. Super tapped out. This is ridiculous. Flip, keep it to yourself in the bedroom. Oh, thanks for covering that up. Ice says the Asian guy is from Being Natural. Interesting. I guess you guys figured it out. Tonight is the giveaway, and as soon as we finish announcements, we're going to be doing that. But there is still one more announcement, and this is kind of a big one too. Kino, keeping it coming. FX and FX2 with Brian Brown and Brian Dennehy are finally coming to Blu-ray, and this is getting a limited edition 2-disc release from Kino with a slipcover. This is freaking amazing. I am so stoked that they're doing this like this. There is on-camera interviews with director Robert Mandel, the making of featurettes for both FX and FX2, trailers, slipcase, optional subs. So stoked that we are getting this finally. FX is a big one, and there are lots of other names in these, like Jerry Orbach, Tom Noonan. People have been talking about these as really needing a good release for a couple years. So I'm glad we're getting these. But my goodness, this is so many movies coming out. Um, I will confirm this, Hunter. Is the rumor true? Eureka will announce new Hong Kong titles every month. From Flip, somebody that he knows at one of these labels has told him that they are planning on releasing a new Hong Kong title every month of 2022 at the very least. And I am curious how long that could go on, because with that new law, uh, if they didn't have an agreement in place already, we may simply lose out on a film. So interesting. Cinematic Circus, I agree. Was hopeful for more features, but fresh releases of these are super welcome. I agree. I wish they were a little less bare bones, but at least we're getting something. It's still a little better than the Kino of old, because they used to not have anything on their releases. Yeah. All right. At the moment, we have, let me close this tab so you can see this full screen. At the moment, we have 42 people in here. And at the widest tonight, we had 50 in here. So I'm going to say, if you are here and you are subscribed, you are eligible to win the Thing 4K Steelbook. So if you are interested in going for this, please keep it to the US only. I had to ship a Steelbook to the UK today, and it cost me a lot of money. I'm going to say we're going to have you pick a number between 1 and 50 that I already have written in my phone here. And when you are done guessing and somebody gets it, I will show you what the number was. And this is the big one. For those of you that don't know, the Thing 4K Steelbook from Best Buy that is in this box, brand new, sealed for you. This thing is already going for $100 on eBay in some cases. This is crazy. The cheapest it's been going for is $65. So this is not small. Pick a number, 1 to 50. If I see the number, I will call it out, and we will call it done then. Please only choose one number. All right, here we go. Everybody pick your numbers now. As soon as I see it, I will highlight it and call it out. I still have not seen it from any of these so far. This is a great lottery. Still nothing yet. I'm going to have to go with the closest if we don't get it, I think. And the closest one so far has been within about 4. All those, man, I've seen 3 numbers from you now. All right. Make sure you guys are paying attention to the chat too, because other people are choosing numbers as well. All right. Before I say anything, can we go more than once? All right. I'm going to say let's cut it off there. Nobody got it yet. We're going to do it one more time. 1 to 50, starting after Mitchell's comment here. Mitchell commented 15. Nobody say anything until I say go. I would suggest choosing a different number this time, and make sure you are the first to choose it. All right, here we go. 1 to 50 again. Choose a number starting now. Go. And I will try to do this. Darren, what's going on? Good to see you. I highlighted his answer, but that was not it. All right, make sure you're only choosing one. We got one closer than last time, but I still have not seen it yet. All right, I am going to get the one that was closest. We're not going to do this more than twice. So from Mitchell, this is going to be weird because I highlighted it, but the winning number was 31. This is what I had written here, 31. And Darren, if you are in the US, I'm going to say that you are the big winner there because you are the first one after Mitchell that was closest. So hopefully everyone understands. Darren, you are, because I didn't see anybody with 30 or 29, correct? Oh, there was a 29. Tom V. Oh, you changed it to 28. Well, now I'm just confused. All right, Darren, yeah, you are the big winner. Oh, Darren, you're in the UK. Okay, never mind. I'm going to give that to Tom V then. Sorry, Darren. I cannot do UK again. Tom V, go ahead and message me down below. I have an email address in the description, or you can message me. Message me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I will get it out to you literally tomorrow. Congrats, Tom V. Glad you're happy. Send me a message. I'll get it out to you. Darren, thanks for being understanding. Overseas shipping is ridiculous nowadays. Video store, unfortunately, I will not be able to box up my entire collection. But that is a great time to transition into a collection update. I got some real cool things to show. My sister recently just went to Boston and grabbed me a couple real cool things and sent them to me. She got me this, let me make sure I can do this without a glare, Leatherface Christmas ornament. We got our tree up, and I haven't put this up yet because I wanted to show it to the channel first. Pretty cool. But the big thing that she got, I love this print. This was done by a local artist in Boston, and it says "Love from the Lagoon." And the detail on this is going to look terrible on YouTube, of course, but it is so well done. I can't wait to get this thing framed. This thing is beautiful, and just so that I can shout him out, here is the artist on the back, Paul T. Demakes illustration. Go to pauldemakes.com. Really nice print, and I believe these are available on his site. Now for some other blue pickups, and I do have another art-related pickup I'm going to talk about in a few. From my friend and friend of the channel, Mr. Brian, that was on here earlier. I got from him in a trade Dead Snow on Blu-ray. Love this damn movie, but I only had it on DVD, so now I got it on Blu. And a very interesting release of The Devil's Rejects. This has the 2 added minutes of filth and gore not seen in theaters. Also has the 30 Days in Hell making of, over 2 hours in-depth look at it. Has the blooper reel, makeup test, the Morris Green Show, Otis's home movie, Captain Spaulding commercials, bloody stand-up, and all kinds of stuff on it. There is so much on this disc. And the big thing, I haven't seen the uncut version, so super interested in that. I am losing feeling in my mouth from talking so damn much. I'm sure you guys saw me post about Gummo being available on DVD again, and I picked it up, and I am stoked to have this. Yeah. This is one I'm probably going to make the wife watch and hate me for. I just got in A Leap of Faith from Shudder and RLJE. This is William Friedkin on The Exorcist. I adore William Friedkin. I think he is literally one of the best directors of all time. He has made some incredible films, and I've heard good things about this, and I never picked it up, so glad to have it. My man from Twitter has been blasting all about this. Nerd loved this film. He tagged me to say I should buy this. Video store, that is from Warner Archive, as you can see here on the top, and it is back on Amazon available. It is a mod DVD made on demand, but it is here, and it was, I think, about $18.50 on Amazon. It was out of print for a long time. Flex, what's going on? Good to see you. Anyways, Nerd was talking about this super big on Twitter, and he had no idea when he tagged me that I had already bought it and was on the way. But I just got in Old Henry, and I cannot wait to see this. Everybody is saying that this is one of the best modern Westerns of all time, and this looks fantastic. It has Tim Blake Nelson, Stephen Dorff, Trace Adkins, and Gavin Lewis. It is the story of a widowed farmer and his son who warily take in a mysterious injured man with a satchel full of cash. When a posse of men claiming to be the law come for the money, the farmer must decide who to trust. Defending a siege of his homestead, the farmer reveals a surprising talent for gunslinging that brings his true identity into question. This looks incredible. Cannot wait to see it. Matt's here. What's going on, Matt? I just got in Uncut Gems on 4K. I adore this film. The Safdie brothers are, I think, one of the best up and coming director groups. Don't know how to call that. It's like the Coen brothers, I guess. The big thing about their films, though, is they are able to conjure tension that a lot of directors just can't get. And this film is the best example of that. This feels like you are literally climbing a roller coaster for an hour and a half, and the payoff makes you want to jump off the roller coaster at the top. This film is fantastic and so well made. I'm so glad that Sandler had that. From Ronin Flicks, I got in my 4K disc of I Spit on Your Grave. I'm so glad that they set the example to allow people who had bought the original big box set to upgrade to 4K at only $20. That was a classy move from them. Stendhal says Good Time was so good too. Good Time is probably my favorite film from them so far. I love Uncut Gems, but Good Time is so well acted by Pattinson. John also got Menace to Society. That is such a nice release. Gummo should be on Criterion. I agree. I also don't understand how we're not getting Blue yet. Let's see. From Scream Factory, I finally got in my copy of Krampus's The Naughty Cut on 4K. Stoked to watch this again this December. It's been a couple years since I saw the original cut, but seeing it on 4K, this is going to be great. You guys know I talk about animation quite a lot. Let me see. There's a question here from Nerd. Spit on Your Grave 4K came with the remake. If you buy the collection, it does. Mine is just the 4K disc, as far as I'm aware. Unless there's more than one disc in here. Maybe I should open this. The full box set definitely comes with the remake and the Growing Up with the I Spit on Your Grave, the documentary. And this was only supposed to be one disc, but the insert makes it look like it's more. Yeah, okay. So this is just the 4K disc for me. But I'm honestly stoked that they put it in a case and put the slip and everything on there. Or not slip, the slip art. Let's see. I have talked about animation quite a lot, and I love Snoopy. My wife calls me Snoopy. I call her Woodstock, and I have a Snoopy tattoo on my leg. So I had to get this, and it was very, very cheap. That's what I meant. It is a sequel. It is not a remake. The remake is not a part of this. Undead of Night, the difference between the Naughty Cut is not a whole lot. There's a little more language and supposedly like a little more blood. But yeah. Another one that just came up on sale in the last couple days is the Paramount Presents line. Not all of them were on sale. Flex says, why Snoopy? Honestly, I don't know why. My wife and I first met when we were barely teenagers. I don't even remember where it started. Yeah, that's where it is now, though. It's been like 20 years in the making. I picked up A Place in the Sun from Paramount Presents, and I also got 48 Hours. This is the big one. I've wanted this for quite some time, but yeah. Ryan, someone wrote on a notice board, the Blu-ray of I Spit on Your Grave was region free. Anyone can tell me for certain. I can check for you. Let me see. I thought the original one was locked, but I would not be surprised if they change that now. I Spit on Your Grave, Day of the Woman. Blu-ray.com says it's region A, and it does not say anything about being region free, sadly. If anybody has anything different that they can say about that. Wow. The Blu-ray.com setup for I Spit on Your Grave is kind of messed up. If you click on the box set, it comes up as a different picture. And then, let's see. All That Is Man got a couple. Nice. I did get Love and Basketball Criterion. I really need to watch that. That's one that my wife has never seen. Really need to show that one to her. Last movie pickup. Indie horror. I talked about that a couple weeks ago with a director that I got on here, and I got Pandemonium. This was only going for $10, and I love that mask, and it actually is fairly true to what you see in the film. So I wanted to see this for a while. This is from 101 Films, surprisingly, and this is a company called I don't know how to pronounce it. I've never heard anybody say it out loud. I think it's Micho Entertainment. It might be Micho, Mycho. They do a lot of indie horror titles, and this one says the guys on level 6 like to work hard and party harder. That means the best champagne, finest drugs, and hottest women money can buy. Unfortunately for them, the strippers they've just hired have come with an unwanted guest, Jacob Jakushi, the infamous stripper ripper. With an oversized panda mask and a taste for exotic dancers, Jacob has these girls in his sights, and he'll stop at nothing to get what he wants. It's now strippers versus panda-headed serial killer as they fight to survive the office party from hell. Doesn't that just sound amazing? As soon as I read that, I knew that I had to have it. Sardis, they are kind of touch and go. Sometimes it's pretty quick. Sometimes it is a little longer than it should be. I don't know what the difference is. I found no rhyme or reason to that. I know that Chad, the guy that runs it, what was that grammar there? Chad, the guy that runs it, I know he moved fairly recently, I believe, and that could have been part of why that happened. Okay, so another one that I wanted to share is art that came in this tube. And I have not opened this yet, so we're all going to see this together. I shared on, I think it was the Facebook page. I'm not sure if I shared elsewhere that this was being released just a couple of weeks ago. And honestly, I'm shocked that it's here already. Oh, man. There's so many in here. So there is, I believe, a one-man show called Homemade Horror that does some incredible work. Ice, I hope you are still in here, because if you like John Carpenter's The Thing, you are going to see why I had to purchase this pretty much immediately. Good God. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 7 that I'm pulling out of this tube. This is going to be hard to get back in here. See you, Jeff. Have a good night. Okay. So Darren won The Thing 4K tonight. See you all those, man. Have a good night. Everybody's leaving right now. Darren won The Thing 4K, and I obviously love The Thing, and I just talked about how I love animation. So I had to get this mashup because this is obviously getting framed for the movie room. Check this out. This is incredible. Not going to look great on YouTube, but there is the first one, The Ultimate in Holiday Terror. John, have fun at work. And then this is such a beautiful print. I can't believe he made these. Look at this. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Where is the best place to get posters framed, Michaels or DIY? To be honest, Michaels is incredibly expensive. If you are looking, if you can frame them yourself, I would say to try to frame them. Here's the next one. Good landscape one. Rudolph is the dog on this one. I recently went DIY for the frame I showed off that I got for my wife with the saw autographs and the saw blade and everything, and it ended up being exponentially cheaper. than Michaels. Michaels was shockingly expensive. These are amazing. Oh god, I cannot wait to have these on display. And there's still 3 more. Oh, this might be my favorite of the stack so far. So you've got the Santa thing, and then you have everything in this one print. This is so great. All right, next one. That's right. That is fantastic. All right, and then last one from this group. Sardis, these are art that is combining The Thing, and then, of course, the classic animated Christmas films like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Or I guess it wasn't a, I guess it was an animation. It was claymation, and this is stupendous. These are sure to traumatize the kids. Yes, absolutely, and I'll have to do something about that. Oh man, I am so glad that those came out. All right, so the next thing that we usually do on this show is go over what is coming out next week. So let me go ahead and share that just in case there's something that you want to go out and grab to get it by next Tuesday. Here is next week. We got Who Framed Roger Rabbit in 4K, which I'm really interested to see how good the 4K looks on that. The 4K of Krampus that I just showed you, the classic Beavis and Butthead Do America, Hard Target in 4K, the Karate Kid collection in 4K, the Warner Archive release we just talked about, Angels with Dirty Faces, a 4K Steelbook from Best Buy for Who Framed Roger Rabbit in 4K, The Long Goodbye with Elliot Gould from Kino Lorber, number 17, this is a Hitchcock film coming from Kino Lorber, Mill of the Stone Women from Arrow. This is shipping already to a lot of people. Creepshow Season 2, Harold and Maude from Paramount Presents. One Night in Miami from Criterion. The entire Andy Griffith Show on Blu-ray. Mill Creek, their release of Street Fighter in a steelbook is coming out. Werewolves Within, which is one of my most anticipated films of the year. Finally, I wanted to see this for so long. Mr. Majestic is supposed to be coming out next week, but there's still no Amazon pre-order for this, which is very odd. Get Crazy, that one's coming out as well. Ron's Gone Wrong, I've heard is actually good, so curious at that. Trog is coming out from Scream Factory. Curious, though, they have not started shipping that. Busting is coming from Kino Lorber. Black Magic, I believe this is a Film Movement title. I'd have to look at that. Final Justice from MVD Rewind. Then we have the Giallo Essentials from Arrow. Dear Evan Hansen is coming out. Nobody buy that, please. 13 Slays Till Xmas is getting a retail release. That is from Scream Team Releasing, another indie horror label that I talked about in one of my labels I collect and so should you series. And it's a very good label, so I completely suggest it. Matthew says, Jeff from Films at Home did a review on Roger Rabbit. He said it's good, but not great. Jeff from Films at Home says a lot of things, and I'm not really one to lambast other YouTubers, but there's a lot of reasons not to trust everything he says. Flex says he's getting Street Fighter. Absolutely get it. I can't remember why, but I remember reading why there's no question mark after Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Interesting. Never thought about that. I'm not sure on the editing, but I would be willing to bet so, sadly. No, Flex, I don't think there is one yet. I looked for that, I believe, a year or so ago, and I don't think there's been any announcement since then. Let me see if there's anything else. Flip is always talking about Gomorrah. The second season from Kino is finally coming out. I got that pre-ordered through Target when they were doing buy two, get one free on pre-orders, so cannot wait to get that. King Dingling, that was kind of a joke. A lot of people have shit all over Dear Evan Hansen. I've never seen it. I've got nothing against it. I just got 3 or 4 episodes ago. I showed that I got the SpongeBob musical in. I love musicals, so absolutely, if it's your bag, get it. Dear Evan Hansen. It was just a joke. Let's see. Ken Carlson got in. Great silence from Eureka. Nice addition. I do wish it was 4K, and a lot of people are saying that it's top 5 spaghetti westerns. That would be an interesting list to make. I've not put a lot of thought into that one. All right. Last thing I was going to do is take a look at Kino. Anybody want to take a look at Kino? Here we go. Because I have still not opened this site yet. What was the name of the poster company? If I remember right, it is Homemade Horror. Yes, Homemade Horror. They, I think that was just a Store Envy site, and yeah, they are very small. Why do you think Vinegar Syndrome won't do spaghetti westerns? I don't think that they won't do spaghetti westerns. I just think that they haven't yet. And Maximus says, "Here comes 300 pages of deals." All right, I'm going to make this wide full screen here. All right, so we've got A Million Ways to Die at $9.99. That is a Hal Ashby piece. Interesting. Let's see. Ace's Iron Eagle from John Glenn with Louis Gossett Jr. That's not bad at $5.99. The Alice in Wonderland from, gosh, what year is this from? 39, I want to say. Oh, 33, a little earlier. That is a very interesting one. It's black and white, and that's only $9.99. I would certainly recommend that one. The All Nighter, that is a fairly recent release, and at only $9.99. That's a decent buy. Amazon Women on the Moon. Not an incredible movie, but a good one, especially at $10.99. Let's see. Alphaville. I don't think I've seen Alphaville yet, but I've heard great things. Sardis has probably seen it. Kino has a few things I've been looking for on sale. Great. Eric's checking out for the night. See you. Have a good night. There are a ton of $10 bargains. Can't speak. Against All Flags is not that great of a film. That is good to know. All right, on to the second page of 300. Let's see. The Ape with Boris Karloff. Obviously, anything with Karloff is at least good. Let's see what else pops out. The Awful Dr. Orloff by Jess Franco. This might be his best film. It's easily top 3. And this is, as you can see here, generally considered the first horror film produced in Spain. It's only $10 for a redemption title. That is pretty good. I would certainly consider that one if you don't have it. W.C. Fields is hilarious. This just came out, and it's only $11.99. Absolutely consider getting the bank dick. On Tuesday, I just talked about the Coen brothers, and Barton Fink is here for only $9.99. If you don't have Barton Fink, this is the time to grab it. Absolutely great film. Let's see. Alphaville was meh for Maximus, and the transfer is decent, says King Dingling, and then Stendhal says he loves it. Seems to be kind of middling there. Beyond Therapy, that's a really interesting one by Altman, and it's got my man Jeff Goldblum in it. I love Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum was so great in Deep Cover. Mel and Goldie, this is Bird on a Wire. This is a fairly recent release and already down to 11. That's pretty good. Black Sunday by Bava. If you don't have it, you need this film for sure. All of the Bava titles are great. Let's see. Body Slam at only $8.49. That's not too bad, by Hal Needham. And the big one from this row, if you don't have it yet, everybody needs Blue Collar. Blue Collar is like one of the best films of all time. Blue Collar is great, and it's by Paul Schrader and has Richard Pryor. That's pretty much all you need to know. But Yaphet Kotto and Harvey Keitel are also in it. Blue Collar is amazing. Let's see. We were talking about Friedkin earlier. William Friedkin did The Boys in the Band, and I would highly recommend this film. Does not get talked about enough from Friedkin. This one's only $10. Really worth it. Oh wow. Flip says Shawscope Volume 1 is on AeroPlayer, and I do believe they have a free trial. So if you're interested in watching those, I think you can watch that entire thing for free. All right. Breakheart Pass. This is a pretty new one with Bronson. Not my bag, but if you like Bronson, no reason not to. Oh, I didn't see that that was on there. Brighton Rock is here. This is a good one with Richard Attenborough. Classic, obviously, and it's only $10. Man, so many of these are only $10. That is crazy. Bustin' Loose with Richard Pryor's only $10. You definitely need that one. Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. This is a classic film by Peckinpah, obviously. Really good deal at $10. Burnt Offerings, though. This is a really, really interesting one with Karen Black. I love Karen Black. If you are into that sort of thing, absolutely go for it. The Buster Keaton Collection, Volume 2, and then Volume 3 are both here for only $12.99. That is crazy good for those. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, the classic silent, is only $11.99 on Blue. That is a great price. Carol Lombard Collection at 23. Kino does pretty good with their box sets. And then this one is a brand new release. I don't know how to say this because I'm not French, but this one just came out from Code Red, and at $12.49, if you were eyeing that one, it's a good time to get it for sure. Let's see. Yes, King Dingling. It did have a trouble disc for Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, but I would hope by now they've replaced all those bad ones with good ones. Maximus, I hear you. That is a tough one to figure out. Anthony says, bad for me to watch his stream as I sit here adding more films for another Kino order. Paul Schrader is a great writer, particularly for finding the right metaphors. And Blue Collar, it's the workers' vending machine. They put money in and get nothing out, and it never changes. Yep, Blue Collar is a classic, and not enough people are talking about that one for sure. Let's see, not a ton grabbing me from these rows here. Again, not a Bronson fan, but if you are, Chato's Land is there. I don't think I've seen Chinese Puzzle, but I've heard that it's good. I don't know enough about that one. If anybody has a review on that one, Cherry 2000 is all right. It's not bad, especially for $9.99. A lot of these are going to be very easy to justify when they're only $10. That's the hard part. All right. If you are interested in Raro or Raro video, Kino sales are the best times to buy these. This is a Fellini title. Buying direct from Raro, or again, Raro, Raro, whatever, it is maybe one of the worst decisions you can do in this hobby. They just plain choose not to sell random things or not to send random things. So if you want them, please get them through Kino by all means. Coogan's Bluff is here. This is one of Eastwood's better ones. James Woods in Cop at $10. That's not too bad. Cool as Ice. That's still probably not worth $10. Crooklyn. This is one I will mention. I mentioned Spike Lee in our stream on Tuesday, and this is a pretty great film. I love a lot of the Spike Lee films that Kino put out, and it looks like it's already here for $11. That's pretty dang great. I also really like Donald Sutherland and Crackers at $10. Not bad at all. Man, there are so many. We're only on page 6, and we just got to the D's. George C. Scott and Day of the Dolphin at less than $10 is crazy. Dead of Night is a classic. This is the special edition. I believe this is, let me open this up because it's hard to read the full thing. This is directed by Charles Crichton and Basil Dearden. This is a 4K restoration from 1945. And this is Chilling Tales of the Supernatural. This is one of the oldest anthology films. Absolutely worth it. And then Deep Rising really goes with this channel. I love Deep Rising. Underwater horror is fantastic, and a lot of this is not underwater, but it is on the ocean at least, which is amazing. Treat Williams is great in this film. If you don't have Deep Rising yet, you absolutely need it. Let's see. Mitchell got The Clowns and City of Women to complete his Fellini collection. Nice. King Dingling says, "Cool as ice, bitch." Kino has, oh man, that really makes it. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Kino has like 100 great picks for $10, adds up fast. How long is the sale going for? Sadly, or maybe good, depending on the way you're looking at it. I believe it is going on for most of December. Is the date on the top here? It is not. I'd have to go back and look at the Instagram. Raro is on par with Casetopia. You have to actually annoy them or else they'll never send your order. That sucks. I remember being amazed by the CGI in Deep Rising. It's embarrassing today. It holds up. It's still good. But yes, Darren is absolutely right. Leviathan is the better film by far. What else do we got here? The Demoniacs from Jean Roland from France. This is a really good price for a redemption title if you don't have it. I don't really love Chuck Norris, but I know a lot of people do. And if you want it, Delta Force 2 at $10, that's not a terrible price. Devil's Express. This is a Code Red film that I would 100% suggest. This is a wild, wild movie. $10 again. I don't understand how they make their prices so cheap, but I love it. Dr. Orloff's Monster by Jess Franco, really, really worth it at $10, especially if you're trying to get all of the Francos, which obviously there's tons of them. I would be remiss if I did not mention Dynasty. This is one of Flip's favorites. This is a Hong Kong cinema piece, and at $12, 100% worth it. I adore Robert Mitchum, and I don't know if I've seen this film. The Enemy Below by Dick Powell, $9 though. Robert Mitchum is great. Another Jess Franco, Exorcism, is $10. Jess Franco is not a wonderful director a lot of the time, but he's not bad. Okay, a lot of what he does is bad. Here's another Bava, Evil Eye, featuring the girl who knew too much. Again, only $10, ridiculous. Another Jean Roland, only $10, The Escapees. I don't think I have this one. Damn it. The Erotic Rites of Frankenstein. This is one everybody should see. This is a crazy film. Only $10. After the death of Victor Frankenstein, two figures vie for control of his metallic-skinned monster and the radical technology that created him. Really worth it for sure. Eye of the Tiger. That's not a bad one. $12 though. Not super cheap. Let's see. FTA. This is one. Again, Donald Sutherland. You gotta love him. Fear Desire from Kubrick. Yeah, it's Kubrick. And then Fellini's Casanova, if you're looking for it. Obviously, Fellini is super wide regarded right now. Tom says the sale ends December 20th, so make sure you are planning on that. Darren's asking, why has nobody released Faceless by Franco? And I think it was financed by Rene Chateau. Most likely it's a rights thing or Elements. I know that there are some Francos that were just plain lost. And he has directed so many films that's gonna be a tough one to try to get all of them out there. The Fifth Floor, I believe this one has, isn't Robert Englund in this one? Or am I confusing that with something else? This has been a long time. Oh yeah, Robert Englund is in this, and also Bo Hopkins. Definitely recommend that one. For Love or Money, this one just came out. It's down to 11. That's not too bad. Peter Cushing in The Flesh and the Fiends. That is a real good price at $10. Classic Theater, funny. Classic Here. A funny thing happened on the way to the forum. This is $10. Man, this is crazy. So many things that I'm gonna want to get. Oh, ridiculous. Gator with Burt Reynolds. Yeah, not a big Burt Reynolds guy. I know a lot of people are. The Golem, another classic silent. This is $10 on Blue. That is ridiculously cheap. And there we go. Gamora the series season 1 down to $20. Flip has been talking about that for a while, so if you're interested, really good time to get that. I know you're not as big as the martial arts films like Flip, but 88 Films got a ton of new martial arts films releasing for the US. Do you guys recommend them? From the ones I've seen, absolutely. Absolutely. Has anybody bought from Kino to ship to Canada? I've not been sure on that one. Disappointed in the print of Philibus, but the bonus film is worth the price. Interesting. Hard 8 was rumored at Criterion, but it is available at Imprint if you're wanting that. Such a treasure for bankruptcy. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, 4, and 5 are on Shutter, so if anybody wants to absolutely waste a few hours, there you go. I would say Silent Night, Deadly Night 5 is actually kind of a must watch. Flex, if Diabolic has something you want, you can 100% trust them. They are, it's really one guy named Jesse, and he puts the utmost care into everything he does. Yeah, decent prices. They keep a good stock on things, and it's supporting people. Jesse that runs Diabolic is also one of the main people behind Cauldron Films. So you are 100% supporting the hobby inside and out. Darren, I do believe Kino does ship internationally. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But yeah, I get from Diabolic all the time, literally all the time. I have so many things still pending from them right now. What is this one? Grandview USA. I don't know anything about that. I am not recognizing this row of covers. Here's one, Hatchet for the Honeymoon from Bava. This is a very old Blu-ray, and it's about to come out, I believe, from 88 Films. So you may want to go for that one instead. But if you just want the film, I remember the transfer on this one being at least so-so. It's not terrible, but it's not great. They did put a lot of care into their Bava titles, but that one is coming out again from 88 Films. Highway to Hell. This is a pretty wild film. Love this. This is a horror comedy sort of action film. And yeah, Highway to Hell is really good. Homebodies just got released, and this is one that a lot of people were clamoring for a long time. It's $12.50 now. It'll probably be on sale again in the future, but if you're really after that slip, Kino is really good about only putting pictures of ones with slips if they have slips. So you might want to grab that one. Water. The Hotspot with Dennis Hopper as the director here. This is a really good film. I just got this one in pretty recently, actually. Highly suggest that one. And then Honky Tonk Freeway. I believe, if I'm not conflating it in my mind, I believe I really enjoyed this one. Let me see. This has Cherry Garr and Bo Bridges. That's right. This is a 4K restoration. Something Funny is Happening on the Freeway from John Schlesinger, the legendary director of Midnight Cowboy. Comes his hilarious road comedy with an all-star cast. Welcome to Ticao, Florida, a tiny town just off the highway with big dreams of attracting huge tourist dollars. But when construction on the new freeway leaves them without a crucial exit ramp, the desperate townsfolk decide to take motor matters into their own hands. Yeah, I remember liking Honky Tonk Freeway quite a bit. If you're interested in that. Oh yeah, and Hound of the Baskervilles, classic, absolutely classic. 12.49. It's not as cheap as the others, but not a bad price. And then this is a Pete Walker redemption. 12 is kind of high on that one still. Let's see, is 88 Films testing out the U.S. market? I don't think they're testing the U.S. market. I think that they are um, the release that they did for Gestapo's Last Orgy was because they couldn't release that in the UK. So they are going to be putting out what they can in the US. It just takes a lot to start these. When you're starting a label to distribute from another country, obviously that's a big undertaking. Yeah, about Diabolic, if you ever have an error, Jesse is super quick to correct any mistakes or get you a replacement. He's amazing. Yeah, Diabolic does a lot of media books for sure. Ah, Kino only ships to US and Canada. Understood. Thanks, Scolder. That helps. Yeah, they are releasing a lot of slipcovers. I think a lot of people are wanting them, obviously, with the fascination with slipcovers on other labels. And yeah, Keto took advantage of it. The Pete Walker box sets are discounted. Wow, I don't remember them seeing them discounted in any of the recent sales. I'm gonna have to go take a look at that. Uh, that's probably on page like 241 though. Oh, let's see. The Year of the Cannibals. This is another Raro title. This is Liliana Cavani is the director, starring a trio of excellent actors, a modern reinterpretation of Sophocles' tragedy. I don't think I've seen that one. I've heard decent things, but again, it's Raro. They are very hit and miss on their transfers to begin with. Big one on this row though is I'm gonna get you, Sucka. If you don't have it, you 100% need this. This is a great black exploitation film. Hilarious, absolutely over the top. It's great, and it's $10, which is crazy. Um, I don't think I've seen In God We Trust, but I didn't know that was directed by Marty Feldman. Invasion of the Body Snatchers in 4K is 17.99 on pre-order, and I just got that in and cannot wait to see it. I'll just say that much. Another W.C. Fields title, if you're looking for those, he is hilarious. Like I said before, really worth it. This Jetsons movie, honestly, staple of my childhood. Showed it to my kids. Really holds up. Really fun time, and it's only $10. All right. We're looking at a sale where $12 is high. That's true. Yes, Michael, unfortunately, you missed the giveaway. Flex, Jesse Nelson is the guy that runs Diabolic DVD, and he's also the co owner of Cauldron Films. Clint Eastwood again and Joe Kidd. If you're after the slips, that's not a bad price for a slip. But yeah, I'm not a big Eastwood person. Kazam with Shaq, terrible film. Don't buy that. That's a good price on Kolchak, the Night Stalker series. $50. That's not bad at all. Looks like it's still coming with a slip, and that is supposedly an incredible transfer on there. Hey, the last remake of Bo Guest is only $10. That's a really good price on that one. That's a fairly new release as well. 100% worth it on that. Marty Feldman's hilarious. Let's see. Let the Corpses Tan. This is a very my channel style movie. A lot of people that like the same things as me, you'll probably like this film. This is a Belgium and French film, and yeah, really good. Yeah, you'd like that one. The Long Hair of Death. This is one from Raro that I would actually recommend you pick up. It's got a pretty decent transfer, and it's directed by Antonio Margheriti. $10, really worth it. Not a lot of theirs that I could suggest, but yeah, that one is good. Flickering Wave says Jazz on a Summer's Day is a great music doc, fantastic for only $10. I will keep that in mind. Love me some docs. Losing It is only $10. Tom Cruise, of course. Lost Highway from Lynch, only $10. And Love Rights is good. This is from Borowich. I think that's how you say the last name. I've never heard anybody else say it out loud. But yeah, Love Rights is pretty dang good. Let's see. Mad Max in 4K is $15. Transfer looks great. Definitely worth that price. There's so many of these that I got on pre-order that are on sale now, and it's, man, should have waited. Let's see. Is this Man, a Woman in a Bank? Nope, not the one I was thinking it was, but it does have Donald Sutherland, and it's only 550, so why not? I am not recognizing much of the others on those two rows. The Midnight Man. This is actually a pretty good film. $10. Burt Lancaster. Man, so many of these are cheap. Mississippi Burning with Gene Hackman. Really good film. William Defoe's in it as well. Great, great film. Misery in 4K. It is $18, but I will say the transfer on this looks stupendous. My wife and I just watched it last week, and the 4K is great. 100% really worth it. Yes, 18 is a little high, but it is a newer release. It looks like it still comes with a slip. Yeah, real good. Stendhal says, I think Kino charges less for the releases because the packaging and print itself is uniform and simple, with the exception of the cover art. No reversible cover, though some have slips. And the slips, I mean, they are doing so many more of those recently. It's crazy. Andreas, I love Grindhouse Video. Putting out some love for Grindhouse. And Mike, I feel like there's still many who don't know about Grindhouse. They are absolutely stellar, like Diabolic. Grindhouse is great, especially now that he's moved to Knoxville. He will be even closer to me, 100%. We'll be getting things faster for sure. King Dingaling says Lynch didn't get back to Kino regarding extras and wanting to work with them. Makes you wonder. Yeah, supposedly he did not approve of that at all. Obviously, on the rest of this row, Miracle Mile is a great one with Anthony Edwards, and it's only $10. Really need that one. Million Dollar Mystery is also really, really good. Has a really great cast. So many names in it. Let's see. Murder by Decree by Bob Clark. This is a fantastic film. If you don't have it yet, 100% recommend that one. $10. Can't go wrong there. My Boyfriend's Back. Not amazing, but it's actually a pretty good film. Pretty fun. Gotta love the 80s. National Lampoon's Movie Madness literally just came out, and it's $12.50. Night Gallery season 1 is $27.99. That's not terrible, especially when they've already announced that they've got season 2 coming. Night Has a Thousand Eyes. This is one that I've wanted for quite some time. $12, not bad at all. The Night of the Devils from Raro at $10. I have heard that this doesn't have a great transfer. I do not have that one yet. One I do have, and I can recommend, Night of the Hunted by Jean Roland. This is a good price at $10. Very good. The Night Stalker and the Night Strangler, really good pickups for only $10. Not a lot of people are talking about those. They kind of came and flew under the radar a little bit. Like they got some notice when they first got announced, but man, the Night Stalker and the Night Strangler are great. Let's see. Flickering says right there with you about Grindhouse. Wish he was still in Florida. Excited about what the new store will be like. Me too. Stendhal, you're correct. Most of the older Kino titles had literally no extras. They've really only been diving into extra features and commentaries just over the last couple of years, and they've really stepped up. Stoked that we're getting them. The guy who took over for Mike is doing Viper Video. He opened a video store and he's already open. Crazy how fast that happened. Let's see. Most Raro titles are garbage. Absolutely, you are correct. Michael says, I like Grindhouse not being as known. Used to be able to snag some killer movies from Orbit. Now more people know about Orbit, so now those movies move quick. Man, some of Orbit stuff, they post a picture and they're gone within 3 minutes. It's crazy. Let's see. The Nude Vampire, another genre lawn at only $10. Gosh, that is crazy good price. The I believe third and final of the W.C. Fields new titles, the old-fashioned way. There's only $12. The Nude Bomb. This is the Get Smart movie. Again, $10. If you're into that, it might be a good buy at $10. If you like old school Keaton, One Good Cop is a good buy for sure. Parasite, the 3D on this is interesting. This is back when Charles Band was a better filmmaker and a little more trustworthy. Here is the Pete Walker collection, 4 Blu-ray set, $34.99. That is not bad. That pretty much never goes on sale, so that's pretty surprising. The Pit. This is a pretty bad movie, I got to be honest, but a lot of people love this from their childhood. Yeah, this one's a Canadian film. If you're interested, that's not terrible. I will throw out there. I don't think I've seen this one yet because it's one of the newer ones, but the Forbidden Fruit, the exploitation films from Kino that where they're teaming up with something weird are incredible. So many of them are great. If you ever see them on sale, it's probably a good idea to pick them up. Really, really good stuff. Let's see. Puff and Stuff just came out from Code Red. Yeah. Joe Pesci and Barbara Hershey in the public eye at $10. That one is worth it for sure. The Quatermass Experiment. This entire series is really good. 100% suggest you get this one if you don't have it. Val Guest is the director there. Rawhead Rex Steelbook at $8. They will ship it to you well. This is done by Clive Barker, but in all reality, the movie's kind of trash. Unfortunately, I wish it was a little bit better. Let's see what else we got here. Another genre lawn. He's one of my favorites from Redemption, so that's why I keep pointing him out. Definitely got a lot of his stuff. Wow, the Road films hardly ever go on sale. They have Road to Bali on sale, Road to Morocco on sale, and Road to Rio on sale. Surprising. Those are all fun. Those are classic. Revenge of the Ninja is not great. Man, they got the rest of them too. Road to Utopia is on sale, and Road to Zanzibar is on sale. Crazy. I might have to consider those because I think I only have one or two of them. The original Running Scared, not as not as gritty as the new one, but still a good film. But the big one here for me, Runaway Train. This film is amazing. If you've not seen it, you should read the synopsis. If it sounds like something you'd like, go for it. $11, really good price. Another Jess Franco, The Sadistic Baron von Klaus. This is not one of his top tier titles. This is the follow up to Awful Dr. Orloff, and it just did not live up to it. The Screaming Woman and Scream Peggy. Dang, I can't speak. Scream Pretty Peggy. These are both brand new, and if they're only $11, that is a crazy good price. 100% go for those. But also, Scream and Scream Again. Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. That is an incredible cast. 100% recommend that one. And then I am thinking, because I don't think I've seen this one on sale before, Ceremony. It's supposed to be great. I would look at that one if you haven't. Funny enough, there are two that stick out here for me. September 30th, 1955 is a 70s drama about the tragic death of James Dean. And this one is interesting, but I would suggest on this row picking up Seven, directed by Andy Sedaris, and you have all of his major films on Mill Creek, and then this is the other one that is the outlier. Andy Sedaris is hilarious. Stendhal, I agree with you. I think Roland is a lot better than Franco. Shoot First, Die Later. This is one that is one of my more anticipated Rara titles. But if I'm remembering this one right, the transfer is god awful. So just a warning there. Silence of the Lambs 4K. There are some people not happy with the first 20 minutes or so of the color timing. But honestly, it looks pretty great to me. 4K on this looks really good. Still has a slip, 18 bucks. It's a very recent release. No reason not to. But in this top row, most people have seen The Silence of the Lambs. If you're looking for one of these you haven't before, you need to see The Silent Partner. The Silent Partner is an Elliot Gold film that is fantastic. Christopher Plummer kind of steals the show for me in this one, even though I love Elliot Gold. The Silent Partner, though, is a top notch, like easily top 10% of Kino films ever released. Sinful Nuns of St. Valentine. We were talking about nunsploitation earlier. I don't think I have this one. I might have to pick that one up. Slaughter Hotel. This is one of Raro's worst. Don't get that one. Space Camp is a surprisingly fun film. A little on the like childish side, kind of, but it's a good one. Let's see. Do I recommend Candyman Day of the Dead version? Are we talking? Oh, the new one coming out from Vestron? Honestly, no. It is not a great film. Candyman, the original Candyman is great. Candyman 2 is slightly better than okay. Candyman 3 is pretty much it's an abomination, basically. Here, obviously, Orson Welles, The Stranger is the standout. 12 bucks, really good release from Kino on that one. My big one, as I alluded to earlier, with Spike Lee on this is SOS Summer of Sam. I love this film. Really good release. Really well directed by Spike Lee on this one. It feels obviously Spike Lee has ties to New York, and this one is one of those movies where New York is very clearly like another character in the film. I love that one. The Agatha Christie 10 Little Indian Story. This one has been done many, many times, but this is actually a really good version of it. Highly suggest that one if you haven't seen it. Wow, King Dingling. That's a bold statement. Summer Sam, Spike Lee's best movie. I really love that film. Not a lot calling out to me on this page too much yet. Trilogy of Terror, the first one is really good. Karen Black is great in it. Uh, Thankfully, this whole page has been saved because The Train is a wonderful film. This is a John Frankenheimer film set in 1944 during the war, and it's just a jaw-dropping film. If you don't have it, looks like it still has the slip, and it's 10 bucks. 100% worth that for sure. Darren, to say Zodiac, you could care less. Zodiac is so great. Zodiac is one of my favorites of all time for sure. Tough Turf is fun. It's only 10 bucks. That's not terrible. It's got James Spader. Another John Roland, Two Orphan Vampires. That's not what I thought it was. The Victim. I've not seen this one yet, but I am probably going to be adding this one to my list. I've heard this one is really good. Virgin Among the Living Dead by Jess Franco. This is one that does not go on sale a lot, so if you've been looking for it, this is the best price that you will find this at ever. I guarantee that. Virgin Witch, who? Oh, Ray Austin, not who I thought that was. All right. Western Classics box sets for $20 a piece. That's not terrible. Some Cohen titles here. Who You Think I Am and White as Snow. The Man with the X-Ray Eyes by Roger Corman. A classic here, only $10. That's a good one. But on this row, I would highly suggest you taking a look at Winter Kills. This is a really good film and really sort of iconic in a lot of the ways that they portray things in this film. Absolutely take a look at it. And finally, last one I'll say, Zoltan, Hound of Dracula. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It's not a hearty recommendation. Hey, what's going on, Brian? Glad you made it. Okay, so Victim. Have you seen Victim? Do you highly recommend that one? Because that's one that I've been looking at a bunch. Look at that. Darren says Virgin Amongst the Living Dead is a classic, and it's cheap. Usually that thing is going for almost $30. Variety is a high recommendation for a couple in here. Let me go pull that one back up because that was the one I thought was something else. Variety is directed by Betty Gordon. Christine takes a job selling tickets at a porno theater near Times Square. Christine develops an obsession that begins to consume her life. Few films deal honestly with the female. Wow. Yeah, that sounds really good. Brian loved Victim, one of his favorite discoveries. Wow. Yeah, that's about what I've been hearing. I will definitely have to pick that one up. All right, that is the Kino sale. Let me see here. I want to go out with one of these posters again, especially now that Brian's here. And a lot of people have not seen this. I will say, make sure that you are taking in some great art. This is a mashup of The Thing and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. These are glorious. Horrordecor.com. Or no, that's not his website. It is a store envy site. And it is homemade horror, not horror decor. They group together. Horror decor is doing some releases of The Thing as pillows and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a fantastic print. It's wonderful. It came with 7 prints total. Definitely going to need to be framing all of those. All right. Kind of feels like a smaller sale. King Dingling, that was like 500 titles. I don't see them adding more. 25-ish pages. That's a lot, actually. All right, everybody's sticking up for Variety. I definitely need to get that one. All right, that is it. Darren, our winner for tonight, got the 4K The Thing Steelbook. This is already boxed up. I just need you to send me a message on one of my socials, and I'll get it out to you tomorrow. We went over announcements today. We went over some pickups. We went over the Kino sale page, and yeah, that was a lot tonight. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I hope you had a good time. We got some other stuff coming out this week that I've heard is being announced soon, and I'm curious to see what you guys think. So let me know, and I'll see you next Tuesday and Thursday live on the channel. As usual, if you haven't subscribed, please do. We hang out every Tuesday and Thursday to go over all the announcements. We go over some collection updates and just talk, grow a community over it. And I've got some other cool videos coming out for you soon. So thanks for hanging out. And as usual, like I always say, from one collector to all of you, have a good night, everybody. See you soon.